Hi, my name is Matthew McConnelly, and this is my video review for Reverend C. Herbert Oliver's book, No Flesh Shall Glory: How the Bible Destroys the Foundations of Racism. Reverend Oliver writes his book in 1959 to address the commonly held views of separation, segregation, and racism amongst the populace, and unfortunately, even amongst the church, especially the church in the West. And so he makes a case in his book within 7 chapters, uh, addressing how such views are unbiblical, they're ungodly, unloving, and untenable, unjustified. And so in chapter 1, he states the basic truths of the unity of the human race. He references the Genesis creation account of the progenitors of the human race, Adam and Eve, and how it was through them that all of humanity was created in the image of God. And he clearly makes the case that we are not separate races within the human species, but that we are one human race that finds common origin from and through Adam, and then eventually also Noah and his sons, Ham, Shem, and Japheth. And so he spends the next 3 chapters, chapters 2 through 4, dealing with or supporting this view through his exegesis of the scriptures. In chapter 2, he specifically deals with the biblical references and comments concerning color. In chapters 3 and 4, he deals with the significance, the distinctions, the characteristics, and the similarities between Shem, Ham, and Japheth and their descendants. And in chapter 5, he argues and compares the different ethics of contemporary human society and argues that the Christian ethic is the highest, the most appropriate, and the one that is given to us by the highest authority of creation, of reality, and that is from God. And then in chapter 6, he deals with our freedom to associate, which he argues is a basic element of good human relations. And in 7, he argues against those who would suggest that there would be consequences of not segregating. And so he concludes that such findings, such stances are unjustified. I really appreciated Reverend Oliver's appeal and submission to the Christian ethic and ultimately to the scriptures and to God's design. He helps us to understand in chapter 2 that it is not appropriate for us to associate black with sin or the curse of Ham, that typically sin is usually referred to by the color of red, and that it was in the Song of Solomon and in other explanations of individual characteristics that they were black, and it was never deemed or understood that it was a negative quality. And also on the contrast, you never even hear of people being white. He argues against the idea that the word that is fair is used to denote or refer to someone's whiteness, but he clearly shows from scripture that no, it actually just simply refers to someone's beauty. I will say that I feel like his argument does not address distinctions found within different ethnicities. We are all humans, but we do not all have the same abilities or capabilities. But of course, I think he would make the case that that does not suggest that one is superior or inferior, that it is simply that we are different, as God is a God of creativity and variability. And so I really appreciated this book because I deal and have dealt with cross-cultural ministry and relations, and truly I agree with him. We are all one human race, and so we are to treat every person with love and dignity and honor, regardless of their differences or their similarities. And I know going back to Korea, I know a major issue amongst Korean nationals is their comparison against the surrounding Asian peoples and their feeling of superiority towards the Japanese, the Filipinos, and the Chinese. And so I think it'll be great to reference this book and to dismantle some of the views and the arguments of proponents of segregation and racism.